to the quality of the coming New World Order. The hierarchy then, according to Alice Bailey, would be the unknowable God, Sanat Kumara, the Christ, ascended masters, the ethereal masters of wisdom, the Great White Lodge, physical masters of wisdom, group of world servers. In the hierarchy, seen through a truthful biblical lens, would be Satan, the Antichrist, or they call him the Christ, demons, which are their ascended masters, the elite, the Great White Lodge, a section of the lost that holds false New Age theosophical beliefs, world servers. Finally, Alice Bailey believed that the externalization of the hierarchy would occur in 2025. Bailey also discussed as part of the plan that both the rebuilding of society after a destructive crisis, aka Build Back Better, and worldwide disarmament would be needed to establish the New World Order. Biblically, I believe this occurs when the Antichrist establishes his worldwide beast system. Quote, the New World Order must be appropriate to a world which has passed through a destructive crisis and to a humanity which is badly shattered by the experience. The New World Order must lay the foundation for a future world order which will be possible only after a time of recovery, of reconstruction, and of rebuilding. Doesn't that sound familiar? In the preparatory period for the New World Order, there will be a steady and regulated disarmament. It will not be optional. No nation will be permitted to produce and organize any equipment for destructive purposes or to infringe the security of any other nation. One of the first tasks of any future peace conference will be to regulate this matter and gradually see to the disarming of the nations. The work of healing the wounds of humanity, of rebuilding the shattered civilization, of instituting disarmament.
All right, there you go, my friend. So as you could tell, the people with those clips that we showed there, they're obviously very religious people. And, you know, what they don't understand is that their religion, their cult they're in is the exact same beings that she's talking about. That's where the Christian community gets it wrong. They'll view New Age people and stuff like that, oh, they're deceived and they need Jesus and stuff, but they fail to realize that their gods and their cult, they're the exact same beings, unfortunately. I'm sorry, if your religion is part of a religion that's went and murdered millions of people like Christianity has, the origins of Christianity and how it's divided people and how they've used Jesus for all these horrible things throughout history, but you think Jesus is still the great God and theirs is the deceiver. It's like, it's all the same negative beings controlling humanity. And, of course, all these different people have their different beliefs. It's the same thing. At the end of the day, the second coming of Jesus, they say, oh, second coming of Jesus, he's going to be good. He's going to come save us. But their Jesus, their Christ is the Antichrist. No, it's all the same Antichrist. But esoterically speaking, yeah, Jesus is the Son, right? And there's good esoteric stuff in theosophy as well, you know. But, you know, people are deceived. That's what it is, end of the day. But isn't it interesting what was all laid out there, what she said was coming? And even at the end there, you see, she even spoke about how the resets, how the earth, you know, there's going to be disasters and calamities, and then we got to start the new age, right, with peace on earth. That's always how it is. They destroy the world, then they allow a period of time of peace to rebuild society, have people spiritually strong again, so that they can rebuild and reform. And then once society gets settled, then they start collapsing it all over again, harvesting people's energy, you name it. But this is the cycle that we've been stuck in. And Alice Bailey knew that. And she's saying 2025, that we're going to have the physical manifestation of all these beings to take place. And then you see, right before 2025 begins, we have Pope Francis opening up portals at the Vatican. A little bit suspicious, right as we head into 2025. Portals that could potentially let this physical manifestation of Saturn, the astral AI, manifest into physical form. And then we got Donald Trump talking about how we're now in the golden age because he's returned. And we got Donald Trump really, and Elon Musk really pushing the AI agenda. And we know AI, Saturn, connected. It's all coming together now, isn't it, my friends? It's all come together. So we got all these people sitting here cheering on Trump. We got a golden age. We got a golden age. Woohoo! Meanwhile, they don't know what a golden age is. And what they're really doing is they're cheering on the return of the AI, Saturn, Satan, beast system. And they're probably going to end up merging with the AI because they think it's cool now. Before, they didn't think it was cool. Before, like, I don't like AI. Klaus Schwab, Bill Gates, I'm not going to accept it. And now it's like, ooh, Donald Trump and Elon Musk, AI, yippee, it's a good AI. Yeah, that's what's happening. So we're going into that age where they're going to start merging us more and more with the AI, or those who consent to going down that path. And all these things are going to happen. The reset's going to happen. All these kind of things. And then the new simulation. People are going to be recycled into the new simulation. But what about those of us who do not choose that timeline? Well, those of us who refuse to go down that timeline and merge with the AI and refuse to follow this beast system, we have the opportunity to go into the true golden age, one that's not ruled by Saturn AI, but one that's truly golden, that will pretty much filter us right out of this matrix to return back to the spirit beings that we are, into our light bodies, whatnot, and return to the higher dimensions. And that's what a true golden age is. None of this false light, false AI path crap, which they consider their golden ages. Or let's face the fact, humans are going to be the ones who are going to suffer. It's a golden age for them. Humans are going to be hooked up to their pods, okay? So that's what people don't understand, you know? It's a golden age for them as in the elites, not for them as the people, okay? So you want a true golden age, you don't conform with what the government wants you to do with their beast system. All right, my friends. So as I promised, I do have that final video to show you the history of all these resets and all these golden ages. Very important you guys see more about what these golden ages are all about. All right? So that's it for today's video. Before I show you that last video, I'm just going to let you guys know that if you enjoyed today's video, I hope you subscribe by now, and you can always buy Lionel a coffee for my efforts. Any support is greatly appreciated. It helps me continue doing what I'm doing to bring you guys this content. So if you want to buy me a coffee, I'll gladly send you guys some free Patreon videos to your email as a thank you. I do appreciate you guys so much. And what means the most to old Lionel is if you just leave a comment down below, let me know what you thought of today's video. I'd be very interested in hearing, because this was a deep rabbit hole. So please leave a comment, let me know. And yeah, enjoy this last video. Enjoy your holidays, okay, my friends? Be safe. And I got a pretty good video to bring to you guys probably on New Year's Day, okay, on January 1st. It'll be footage from my trip to Austria, and we're going to be talking about how, is January 1st really the first day of the new year, or is there some deception there as well? Well, we're going to be talking about that in that video. So stay tuned for that. Take care of yourselves. Happy Festivus. And until then, enjoy this last video. Lionel signing off.
Welcome back to Darklight Archives, where we dig deep into the shadows of history to uncover the eerie truths lurking beneath the surface. Today, we're exploring the dark side of the Golden Ages, those times in history when humanity seemed to thrive. But was everything as golden as it seemed? Buckle up as we dive into the shocking secrets behind the most celebrated eras of the past. When we think of ancient Rome, visions of gladiators fighting for glory in the Colosseum might come to mind. But the reality, far darker. Many of these gladiators were enslaved or prisoners forced into combat. Often, they fought to the end just for the entertainment of the Roman elite. Imagine standing in an arena knowing your life was just a spectacle for the crowd. The golden age of Rome came with a dark price. Next up, the Renaissance, a time celebrated for art, science and discovery. But it was also a time when plagues ravaged Europe, particularly the Black Death. Around a third of Europe's population was wiped out, with entire villages left empty. Bodies lined the streets, and cities struggled to bury them. For all its advancements, the Renaissance was haunted by disease and decay. The Industrial Revolution brought technological miracles to the world, but what about those working in factories? For many, it was a nightmare of poverty, injury, and the end of life. Children as young as 6 worked in mines and mills, often losing fingers, limbs, or even their lives. These so-called golden times for industry were nothing short of brutal for the lower classes. The Victorian era is often romanticized, but it held a dark secret, its treatment of the mentally ill. Victorian asylums were overcrowded, and patients faced horrific conditions, with many confined and restrained for years. What's worse, many who ended up there were simply inconvenient family members or those with minor illnesses. It was more like a prison than a place of healing. China's Ming dynasty was a period of cultural prosperity, but it came at a cost. The dynasty's rulers enforced their power with brutal public and severe punishments. Even the slightest crimes could lead to the end or brutality. Beneath the luxurious courts and stunning architecture, the Ming Golden Age was built on fear and absolute control. The age of exploration sounds thrilling, with tales of adventure and discovery. But for indigenous populations, it was devastating. Conquistadors brought violence, disease, and slavery to the Americas, wiping out entire civilizations. The so-called discovery of new lands led to suffering, exploitation, and the near destruction of entire cultures. Ancient Greece, often celebrated as the birthplace of democracy, was a society built on contradictions. The golden age of Greek democracy excluded women, the enslaved, and foreigners. A vast portion of the population had no voice, with the luxury of democracy reserved for a privileged few. Their democratic society had a much darker, exclusionary side. The Edo period in Japan is known for its stability and culture, but it was also marked by a strict caste